We're sisters, and together we're Crumbs.
We both like cooking
And we love food and chocolate and red wine.
This is a brilliant book, and we're lucky enough to have the author, Sarah Trivuncic, in the house with us. She's from Maison Cupcake, that's her blog, and she's a cake baking icing master, and she's giving us a masterclass today. You know when you get all those potted kind of models and roses on top of cakes, they're all made from sugar paste. I've never used it before, so it's going to be a real learning lesson for me. So over to you, Sarah.
Yeah, these are sugar roses. They're really impressive, but they're actually very easy to make quickly.
That's what we like.
Yeah. So we've got some ball of sugar paste, which is just like Play-Doh, but you can eat it.
So that comes like in a packet like that?
Yeah, you get it in packets. You can buy it ready mixed in different colours, or you can buy it white and add food colouring to it as well. So if we just get a bit like a golf ball and roll it into a short fat sausage, like that, and then what we're going to do is cut it into 6 pieces.
This thing you're cutting on, this is a special like icing mat, is it?
This is actually an A4 plastic sleeve, which I have cut the bottom off so that you can open it like a book.
So that's normally a filing thing.
So we open that up and then we arrange them on
So
the
are these
sides.
going to be petals?
Yes, each of these will be a petal. Close that down, and then just squash them with the heel of your hand.
Great.
So you don't want to completely flatten
Not
them?
completely, just sort of compress them so they're like coins almost.
Okay.
And then get the side of your thumb and just sort of apply pressure around the edge like that.
Yep.
And then like that.
And not quite all the way around, just kind of...
Just the top half. And then peel it off with the side of your thumb so that you don't damage that edge there. And then this one, we just roll it up. So we've got like a coil for the centre of the rose.
Beautiful.
And then this one, we put it on the opposite side, slightly higher up. So that it's slightly higher. And then again on the other side. So 3.
Okay, so they go up a bit each
I mean,
time.
for little roses, you could stop there. It's quite fat at the moment, but we will squeeze it and
Cone it.
cone it at the bottom.
Because it looks really intimidating to do. That I would never think of doing it myself.
It's really professional.
It is really easy. And then the final 3, you just put them, squash them around the outside.
And how long will these last?
Keep them in a Tupperware box. Make sure that there's nothing damp that's going to get in there, and you can keep them in there pretty much, you know, for a couple of months even, as long as they're sealed up and they're not going to get any dust on them.
And then you just chop the bottom off?
Yeah, chop the bottom off and put them onto one of the cases.
Okay, perfect.
I'm going to take a bit of the red icing and mix it with the white sugar paste so that we get a nice pale pink colour. Start mixing these together, just like Play-Doh.
Great.
So it looks a bit like rock or
Let's
something,
use
doesn't
this,
it?
this is acrylic mat, which stops it from sticking. Yeah, it does look like rock.
Something like that probably cost us a couple of quid a bit.
Yeah, that's gone quite a deep bubble gum colour, even though I only used a piece the size of a grape.
Hardly, isn't it?
And it has really, because red is very strongly pigmented. Let's just, if I get half of that and mix the two
It's
together.
incredibly bright, isn't it? From just a little bit of red. So it's quite labour intensive, this bit, isn't it?
Yeah, it can be. And don't forget,
Handy rock.
this is a really small amount. Imagine you're trying to cover a cake that's this big. You would have 1.5 kilos of the stuff. If you had a great big piece of sugar paste, the way to check whether the colour has gone all the way to the middle is to cut it in half, and you can see what it's like inside.
Yeah.
Is that a rolling pin specifically for icing?
It is, yes, because
Wow.
it won't, because a wooden one it would stick.
Yeah,
Whereas this is
that's great.
sort of like acrylic stuff. Put that on there. Now, normally, if I was going to be putting icing on top of cakes, I would be fixing it down with royal icing, but because these pre-bought shop cakes are quite sticky anyway, I think that actually we're going to get away with it. So we just put
Perfect.
that one there,
And then you pop this on.
pop one of these on the top, and again, because this icing is quite sticky, I think that's actually a bit too big for this sort of cake, isn't it? What we've got as well, these little flowers have just been cut out with a cutter like this.
Great.
And then
That looks great.
there we go.
Gorgeous.
You can just put a tiny little ball of the coloured stuff in the centre.
And then we can just put a couple of lovely.
So we've been adding to our tower of cakes till it looks quite spectacular at Maison Cupcake, aka Sarah, busy over there still. We've learnt loads about icing, loving these icing roses. Do you have any wicked ways with icing? Is there anything you do that you'd like to tell us about? If so,
tweet, comment and
subscribe. At Crumbs Food, of course, Sarah at Maison Cupcake. We'd all love to hear from you.
We're sisters, and together we're Crumbs. We both like cooking, and we love food and chocolate and red wine.